Good morning. This is Danka Metcalf with TradeOutloud.com. Welcome to the pre-market game plan for today, Monday, September 19th. It is 8:47 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to start with ES this time, and we are bullish biased, so we're not going to think short. The daily chart suggests that we have more upside all the way to 2150 area and even 2156. So these are the target areas. However, we run into resistance on the hourly chart, and 2143 is a lot of resistance, but at the same time, we have consolidated a lot overnight, especially in the Asian session after this rocket bar, and then we decided to hover a little bit higher into the prior highs, into prior trading session highs from Thursday. So we do look to go a little higher today. However, we need to maintain this level of 2138. So as long as this 2138 level remains intact, we will look for more upside into 2150 and 2156. For a short situation, in case we're going to get a sell-off, however, I don't see anything that might influence too much into today's action, some catalysts that will push it to the downside. Let's not forget that we have an FOMC meeting this week, so extra caution should be applied into Wednesday's trading. And also for those of you that are trading in extended hours, pay very close attention into Tuesday evening as the Bank of Japan press conference and their monetary policy statement is going to come out, and most probably it's going to be after 10 or 11 p.m. Eastern Time. But until then, so far today, we don't have any economic releases that are going to impact the market. So it's going to be normal trading activity. In case we test the 2138 area, please note that there is room to come in, but again, 2135 is going to be another zone of super resistant, super support right here. So very careful into trading this area. It doesn't have a lot of downside to go. So again, evaluate this level. This is again a level from which it can bounce. But if this level remains weak throughout the trading session, we may come in into 2130. But again, from the morning, I'm bullish biased as long as 2138 is holding. Let's go to NQ, and NQ is by far the strongest index here in mini. So we did have a pop up with a rocket bar into 7 p.m. Into the Asian session, and we have continued to consolidate all through the night. At 1 a.m. we had another pop to the upside. 4841.75 was the new high, and we're getting a pullback. This is the support area. 4827 is the support area. We can get a pullback all the way to 4820. We still remain bullish. So any pullback into 4820 area is going to be buyable. So again, look for a buy into this area, 4820 and even 4825. So this is going to be the cushion area. So you can use 4825 and put a stop under 4820, or look for 4820 and give it a 5-point stop. And the targets are going to be all the way into this prior high, 4840 area. And I failed to mention the fact that we have just made a new high in NQ. 4841.75 is the new all-time high in NQ right here. So we definitely have room to continue higher, and there are projections into 4150. I'm sorry, 4850, 4862, 4875 area, and these are just some of the projections for higher. However, if you're looking for strong, so even going into FOMC meeting and even after FOMC meeting, if we're going to get a market rally, it's better to just trade NQ, super bullish. Let's switch to YM. YM as well, super strong. Strong rocket bar came in at 7 p.m. Eastern time. A very small pullback all the way into 18,093. Continued higher, testing these prior highs right here at 18,150, and it's consolidating bullishly. So as long as 18,110 will remain intact, this is going to be the support area for throughout the day. Look for more continuation into 18,150, these prior highs right here. And just remember one thing, that this area, the 18,160 area, in 18,160 and 8170 is also going to be resistance area, as they represent solid resistance areas from the daily chart. However, if we break above those areas, there's much room to continue all the way to 18,250. So a lot of room to for follow through. So if I would pick something for today, I would pick NQ for higher and YM for higher. So they're both looking very good. However, NQ remains my favorite because it's the strongest one. CL had a really strong activity overnight, and it broke above this prior high on the hourly chart, made a new high right here into $44.50, came back in, and is testing this $44 area, and so far it's sitting on some support right here at 44.10. I see it long over $44.30, and as long as it breaks this $44.30 area, look to place a stop under $44.20. So it'll be probably well, I would say 15-20 cent stop right here. It depends on how the bar that breaks this area will be tested at what the low of the support area. Currently, we have a low here at $44.50. So remember, it's going to be a 15 cents, give or take, stop in CL for long. So the long here is at $44.30. Remember, the stop remains here. I love this trade. I think it's going to go all the way to 44.50 once again to test this area, and then you're going to look for 44.75, and it's also a very strong area right here that is being tested. This is a 50% retracement on the daily chart. So once we break through this area, there's nothing that can stop it all the way to $45 and $45 and change. So CL is very bullish. I would look for a long, but only if it breaks this $44.30. And if we should test this area below $44, I'm going to be extra cautious. I'm just going to let it play out all the way to $44.50. So I'm not going to short this. So I'm still bullish biased. Last but not least, GC, and this is gold. Gold had a really strong pop as well as all these other minis overnight, and it made a new high right here into 1321, and this is pretty much the area that has been trading last week, last Friday, and even on Thursday. And even on Wednesday, and we've been testing and we've been talking about this 1321 area for a very long time. Now, if you remember what I've mentioned last week, is that 1310 is a very strong support area onto the daily chart. However, we're weakening into that area. Excuse me. It's going to be a test area here. So if the price should come back into 1310 area, then we should look for a break and a continuation lower all the way into the 1300 area. But until then, if we are really going to change a trend here, remember the test area is going to be 1321. If we get a break above 1321, then we will be bullish. Until then, we're still remaining neutral on this mini, so totally neutral on this mini. We need to have more confirmation. So it will be very difficult even to scalp in this territory. So far on minor time frame charts, we have a new support area 1315, which is defined, and we have a new resistance area 1317. So we have a little base to work with. So for those of you that are scalpers, you can look to go long over 1317 and have a stop at 1318. 13.15. So again, these are the parameters. For those of you that are taking this quick scalp, you're going to look for the first target into 13.18 and the second target into 13.19, last target 13.20. However, please apply extra caution on this GC trade. Thanks so much for joining, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.